You know the drill from the Final Destination movies. A seemingly ordinary day turns deadly as fate orchestrates a horrifying chain of events. But what if I told you that real life can be even more terrifying? Because in this video, we're diving into the absolute nightmare fuel of the open road. Car pileups, where it feels like death itself, is the conductor of a symphony of twisted metal and shattered lives. You know that feeling, right? That chill down your spine, that sudden realization that you're just a passenger in a world where one wrong move, one moment of bad luck, can send everything spiraling into a final destination level catastrophe. The Sacramento freight train of fate. Imagine leaving work, singing happy birthday to your mom, and then, just minutes later, a massive big rig holding a heavy load became an unstoppable force. Without warning, it slammed into the back of a dark sedan, triggering a devastating chain reaction involving more than 6 vehicles. In the end, the monstrous rig tipped over, blocking all southbound lanes, a grotesque monument to the chaos it had wrought. Among the twisted wreckage, one life was tragically lost. 39-year-old Joel Broussard, a former Elk Grove mayoral candidate, on his way home from work. Just minutes before the collision, Joel had been on the phone with his mother, Irma, singing happy birthday to her, his red Chrysler caught in the brutal embrace of the big rig. His wife, Angie, and their 4 children were left to grapple with an unimaginable loss, their hearts torn apart. For Joel Broussard, a simple drive home became a fatal appointment with destiny. While officials found no drugs or alcohol involved, the tragedy serves as a solemn warning. Always be aware of your surroundings, especially when sharing the road with large trucks, because sometimes death is coming after them, and there's nothing that can be done. Log truck disaster in Corrigan. At approximately 2 a.m. on December 19, 2024, a white 2007 Dodge pickup driven by 36-year-old Gary Vincent of Silsby, his passenger, 25-year-old Surry Oliveros, his girlfriend, and a Venezuelan national on a work permit, was by his side. They were reportedly on their way home from North Dakota, heading to Silsby so Surry could finally meet his family for Christmas. But their journey was cut tragically short. Vincent's pickup veered off the pavement to the right, jumped a culvert, grazed a tree, then scraped against a parked 18-wheeler. The final fatal blow came when the Dodge slammed sideways into the back of a fully loaded logging 18-wheeler, which was also parked. The impact was immediate and catastrophic. Both Gary Vincent and Surry Oliveros were killed instantly, their lives extinguished before their dreams could ever come to fruition. The scene was grim, with Corrigan police overseeing the tragic aftermath. The Corrigan double fatality, it's a somber reminder that life's most precious moments can be stolen in the blink of an eye, and when death comes after them, there's often no escape. The Maine Miracle on ice. In New Sharon, Maine, a driver with experience in treacherous winter conditions was wisely taking extreme caution on her way home. But behind her, another, much larger vehicle was in serious trouble. A semi-truck, coming from behind, suddenly lost control as a flash freeze turned the roadway into a sheet of ice. The massive truck's load began to spin wildly, clipping the woman's car and then crashing into 2 other vehicles. The scene was pure pandemonium. Amazingly, despite the severity of the collision, the woman in the first car somehow escaped serious injury. The 2 occupants of the white truck behind her were also incredibly lucky, emerging without fatal wounds. Authorities arrived quickly. According to the woman filming, the roads froze over in less than 10 minutes, a chilling testament to the speed at which conditions can change. It's a stark lesson. Always take it slow in the cold, because loss of control can happen incredibly fast, but sometimes, just sometimes, you can cheat fate. The Mexican standoff on the highway. What happens when an aggressive, erratic semi-truck driver decides to play dangerous games on the highway, blocking all traffic? According to the driver with the dash cam, this particular semi-truck had been driving erratically for some time in Mexico, seemingly intent on blocking all motorists from passing. Vehicles were trapped on either side at the mercy of this rogue trucker. But just moments later, an even larger semi-truck had apparently had enough. This is where it became abundantly clear that for the erratic trucker, size meant nothing. The bigger truck wisely backed off, fearing a catastrophic accident. However, This close call didn't deter another, smaller vehicle from trying the same thing on the opposite side, and this time, the catastrophe was not avoided. The erratic semi swerved across 2 lanes of traffic, far too quickly for a truck of its size. The smaller vehicle narrowly escaped a direct hit, but the consequences of the aggressive driving were undeniable. This terrifying footage from Mexico is a powerful lesson in dealing with erratic drivers, especially those in much larger vehicles. The urge to confront or challenge such behavior can be incredibly strong, but as this incident shows, it's a gamble with potentially deadly stakes. The Austin Cliffhanger. In Austin, Texas, a motorist with a dashcam was waved on by a dump truck driver who appeared to be having some trouble. The car's driver continued down a long curving hill toward a stoplight. The intersection was busy, making it challenging for cars in the far right lane to make the turn on red. This proved to be incredibly bad news for the driver in a gray sedan. Disaster struck with terrifying speed. The dump truck, the same one from earlier, plowed into the gray sedan, pushing it violently through the intersection. The runaway truck then smashed into several other vehicles before punching through a concrete barrier and plummeting more than 15 feet, landing on its side in a ravine below. Thankfully, Good Samaritans were able to pull the dump truck driver out of his cab before his truck caught fire. Emergency personnel arrived quickly. The driver of the gray sedan was reportedly treated for a concussion, and the 19-year-old driver of a red car that was T-boned sustained a spinal injury. Remarkably, despite the incredible extent of the damage and the number of vehicles involved, none of the motorists, including the trucker, sustained life-threatening injuries. Investigators later determined brake failure as the cause of the multi-car collision. While death was undeniably coming after them that day, a combination of fortunate circumstances and human bravery prevented a far more tragic outcome. Fallen logs of Surry County. Early Wednesday morning, shortly before 6 a.m., on US 601, a tractor-trailer driven by 44-year-old Jeffrey McManus was driving north. As it came into a right-hand curve, the truck went left of center, overturned, and lost part of its load, timber logs. April Hill and her child driving south were struck by these deadly logs. Hill lost control of her car and ran off the road down an embankment. Both April Hill and the child died at the scene. Charges are pending for the truck driver. The Fort Worth Ice Massacre. Early Thursday morning, on an icy section of the highway, a FedEx truck, seemingly unstoppable, barreled down the roadway. Shocking video taken from the opposite side before sunrise shows the massive 18-wheeler colliding with 2 cars that had already crashed and were smoking before hitting the back of another 18-wheeler. The footage chillingly reveals how the FedEx truck didn't just crash into the smaller vehicles, it drove on top of them, contributing to a colossal 100-vehicle pileup. Icy conditions, brought by overnight sleet and freezing rain from Winter Storm Surry, turned the highway into a death trap, sending 65 people to the hospital and tragically killing 6. Many of the victims were essential workers heading to their jobs during the 6 a.m. rush hour, often with hospital IDs or scrubs. Aaron Watson's family realized something was wrong when his phone's location app showed him stuck on Interstate 35 for hours. It took over 24 hours for the crash's remnants to be cleared, a testament to the sheer scale of the devastation. The victims had little to no chance of escape. These events serve as a somber conclusion to our look at deadly car pileups, reminding us of the fragility of life on the road and the ever-present shadow of danger. Have you ever had a close call on the road that felt like a brush with destiny? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more terrifying tales, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next descent into the macabre. Until next time, drive safe out there, because you never know what awaits you on the open road.